David, don't fuss this morning. Mother's tired.
Any chance for a cup of coffee?
Johnny, here's a good question for you. If you listen to an audio book, does that mean you can claim that you've read the book? What's that, Johnny? Is listening to a book equivalent to reading a book? Well, now that you mention it, Johnny, I don't think it is. I think if you listen to a book, I think you've just listened to it. Oh yeah, but do you get... You haven't bloody read it by definition.
Thinking that if the portrait were framed, it would just cover that bare space.
Well, yeah, I suppose. There are people out there, Johnny, who listen to a lot of books. Good on them. At least they're getting exposed to some sort of classic material.
And the 3-year plans and the 2 minutes hate and all the rest of their bloody rot.
Which they would not necessarily get exposed to if they weren't listening to the bloody stuff. But I don't know whether it's taken in as much when you're listening to it as when you bloody read it.
Audiobooks have seen double-digit growth in recent years. Maybe you listen to books on, well, we used to call it books on tape. Now it's like,
They still have it. Books on CD, they still have it at the library.
yeah, a lot of us download them as books on your iPhone or your Android, your Google phone. St. Paul Library tells us that people are checking out audiobooks more than traditional paper copies, which got us wondering really about the kind of the brain power and the way we process this information. Because people talk, Riley, about reading a book, and they're really talking about listening to the book. And that's kind of how I do it.
And books, Johnny, they were just invented to get a wider bloody circulation of someone's bloody story. That's why they were invented. I mean, you can just sit around the campfire telling a story. Or you can publish a bloody 1,000 books and hand them out to everybody, and everybody can hear the bloody story. Yeah. Or at least read the story, and I think that was the intent. And so we haven't got perfect memory, Johnny, so when someone describes something to us, we tend to bloody drift off or not actually listen or, ignore the fucking consequences of what they're listening to. Right, yeah. And when you read something, like a book or whatever, well, yeah, but do you get the same, do you get the same information? It tends to go into a deeper level, I reckon.
What are you, 15 years old? Who are you working for?
Did not appear to be coming from any particular direction.
Randomly, like senior year, but for me, I like listening and I retain it more. If I'm reading a book, I have to constantly go back and highlight words and be like, okay, what did I just read? I just get distracted easily, so I'd rather watch something or hear it, and I retain it better that way. However, I read books to my kids all the time, but I also like picture books.
Interesting.
Yeah, Johnny, there's all sorts of bloody stuff being done as audio books.
I wondered if they wondered at all.
1918, 4 days after the armistice, Churchill's 4th child was born.
Barbara never expected to get past the front door.
How you hear it comes into a separate pathway into your brain. So we are processing differently. And if you think about it, many, many, many years ago, we have been talking longer than we have been writing the written word. So our brain would process those things differently.
So, Johnny, does anybody care about this shit? And even the bloody Bible, Johnny. The Bible, you can listen to the whole bloody thing.
God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart.
Which would probably be more entertaining than reading the whole goddamn Bible. Well, I've tried that before, Johnny. It's a big bloody task. Well, yeah, I suppose.
What do you want me to do, draw you a picture? Spell it out?